Yeah, like I already said, a very warm welcome from snowy Munich. My name is Nadine, and we are Particula, the Bloomberg for ESG-Token. So with Particula, we are building the first data platform for tokenized sustainable assets and ecosystem-based tokens. And with that, we are offering a trusted one-stop solution for investors, but also for companies. The classical ESG market today is non-transparent, partly unregulated, and non-standardized. That is the reason why each provider has established its own methodologies, ratings, and also scorings. And as a result, investors have to access different database providers at the same time, and this is super expensive and also time consuming. While the trust issues are the reason why more and more projects move to the blockchain, we really have to be careful that we are not transferring the problems of the classical ESG data market to the token market. And this is where we Particula come in with our idea. Our data platform will include all tokenized sustainable assets, for instance, tokenized forests or project funding, token like solar farms, and ecosystem-based tokens like CO2 tokens, hydrogen tokens, or biogas tokens. Therefore, we initially developed a standardized method to collect and categorize CO2 token data in over 100 dimensions and in the 11 categories you can see on the right side. Yeah, this gives companies and investors a transparent way to get a market overview and to choose the best possible project for their needs. But how does it exactly work? Well, of course, we are building a data aggregation and comparison tool. And as you can also see, we have two different portals, or you can also say terminals. And on the token issuer side, so the token issuer on their issuer portal, they can actually register their profile and provide all the necessary data. And also what is in for them. Through our platform, they can get visibility, attract new clients, and they're also able to challenge themselves with their peers. And on the right side, the client portal actually. So there, the client, they can do whatever they can do also in a classical ESG database. So they can search for information, they can compare tokens, they can get scorings, filter and download reports, and also download analysis. And while we are not aiming to be a marketplace, we are nevertheless a place where demand and supply comes together. But why is the right? But why is now the right time to create such a database? Well, we are at the intersection of three of the fastest growing markets of our time. So the market for tokenized assets, for instance, the market for sustainable investments, and the voluntary carbon market. And at the same time, companies face an increasing regulatory pressure at the EU level, which lead to an extensive need of ESG data. And that is the reason why the market for ESG data will grow by a factor of 4 in the next 2 years alone. At the same time, the market is highly concentrated, so only 7 providers share 80% of the market. And as I have mentioned earlier, companies and investors employ multiple vendors at the same time. As our database is the first to provide information about tokenized ESG assets, we believe that we complement rather than compete with other providers. And that's why we believe also that we can capture a high market share value in the long run. This is also shown in this competitive landscape. So we researched the market on the classical side and also on the Web3 side. And we also divided it in ESG data provider and in ESG marketplaces. And as you can see, we have a sweet spot there because no one is doing the data aggregation on the token side yet. Yeah, and our team, so we are in a total of 3 co-founders right now, and we have a lot of experiences in different areas, which makes us, in our opinion, the perfect founder team. Wolfram, for instance, has over 20 years of experience in the software industry. Tim has his expertise in regard to regulation, digital assets, and finance. And my expertise lays especially in product strategy and development. And I'm also the one who got really into sustainability in the last years. Yeah, and we're also onboarding a CTO right now, and he's helping us with developing a demo and also the product in the end. Yeah, now thank you very much for listening our presentation. You can scan this QR code, join also our demo waiting list. We have right now 60 B2B contacts already joined us, and yeah, we are really excited to answer all of your questions. Oh, and the demo release will be in Q1 next year, so stay tuned. Thank you.
Thanks very much for that. We will have just one question in the interest of time, and then we will have Zhongchan on to wrap up the entire demo day session. Thanks so much. I understand we are running over. We'll just be ending soon in about 5 minutes time.
All right, thank you, Melissa.
Hey Nadine, I'll jump in. Thank you for the pitch. I'm just a bit struggling in terms of how solution lines up against problem. Can you go deep for us on, the biggest problems in this space that you're solving?
I will give to Tim so that you can also hear my co-founder as well today. Tim, would you like to answer?
Yeah, for sure, Hugh. Thank you very much. Very interesting question. I think the most pressing problem in this market, in the classical ESG data market, is that there are no standardizations. There is no wording which fits on every project, and you do not know which project is good and which project is bad, because no project is similar to the other. And currently there is a market building from scratch in the blockchain space for project financing, for ecosystem-based token, eco-service token, and we have the opportunity to build these standards and so prevent the mistakes which were made in the classical market from day one. And this also gives the opportunity to build something like a one-stop solution which aren't or isn't available in the classical market. So in Europe alone, you have over 60 ESG data aggregator databases which provide their own ratings and scorings, and therefore it's highly expensive to get access to different databases, do your own research, aggregate the data. And if you have a portal or a tool which includes all tokens and you can search by your interests and by the needs you have, and have something like a one-stop solution, it's definitely a value add which firms are looking for. We spoke, for example, to big firms like Sixt. It's one of the biggest car sharing companies in Germany, and they're currently definitely in search for something like that. And we also see institutionals like DJE Capital, which currently built something like a impact investing fund, which they not only emit in a classical way, but also tokenized. And they're currently on search for something like a database where they can choose their CO2 token provider because they want to offset the emissions which are made in the emission with CO2 token. And that's the point where we come into play.
Thanks, Tim.